The for sale sign went up by the ranch lake at 9 a.m., and by noon, Karen Thompson had dialed 911, unaware that her own property would soon become the key to my calm move. Tom Reynolds posted the sign that morning, the crisp paper nailed to a stake by the edge of his ranch lake. The property spanned 15 acres, with the lake as its centerpiece, a serene stretch of water he'd maintained for years. At 47, Tom had lived on the land since inheriting it from his father, a quiet life of cattle and solitude outside the suburban sprawl. The lake drew attention, fishers, birdwatchers, even developers, but it was his to sell, if he chose. The Homeowners Association, or HOA, had other ideas. Their rules governed the neighborhood, a grid of tidy houses encroaching on his rural boundary, and they claimed jurisdiction over the lake's use. Tom had listed the lake separately, a decision born from necessity. The ranch was his livelihood, but the lake's upkeep drained his resources. He figured a buyer might turn it into a private retreat or a community asset, anything to offset the costs. He didn't expect trouble, not at first. The sign was simple, professional, with a realtor's number and a price that reflected the land's value. By mid-morning, he was checking fences when his phone rang. It was Sheriff Daniels, a gruff voice he knew from years of neighborly disputes. "Tom, we got a call about your property," Daniels said. "Someone reported a trespassing sign by the lake. Says it's disrupting the neighborhood." Tom frowned, leaning against the fence. "Trespassing? It's my land. I put up a for sale sign, that's all." Daniels sighed. "Caller's Karen Thompson. She's claiming it's an HOA asset, and you're selling something you don't own. Wants us to remove it." Karen Thompson lived 2 streets over, a woman in her early 50s with a reputation for enforcing HOA rules. She'd complained about Tom's cattle straying near the property line and his refusal to join the association. Tom had ignored her, citing his land's exemption from HOA control, a fact backed by old deeds. Now, she'd escalated. "I'll handle it," he said, ending the call. By noon, a patrol car rolled up, lights off but presence clear. Officer Hayes stepped out, a young man Tom recognized from town. "Mr. Reynolds, we need to check the sign," Hayes said. "Ms. Thompson insists it's illegal." Tom crossed his arms. "It's my lake. Check the county records. The HOA doesn't own it." Hayes nodded, radioing dispatch. The call confirmed Tom's ownership, and Hayes shrugged. "Looks like she's wrong. I'll let her know, but she might push it further." She did. That afternoon, Karen showed up at Tom's gate, her SUV idling as she shouted through the window. "You can't sell that lake. It's community property. I've called the board," and the sheriff again. Tom walked over, keeping his voice even. "It's my land, Karen. The deeds are clear. You don't get a say." Her face reddened. "We'll see about that. This isn't over." She sped off, tires kicking dust. The next day, the HOA sent a letter demanding he remove the sign or face fines. Tom ignored it, consulting his lawyer instead. The lawyer confirmed his rights, suggesting a bolder move. Karen's lot, adjacent to the lake, was her weak point. She'd bragged about its value, a half-acre with a view she guarded jealously. Tom checked the market. Her property was listed, quietly, by a realtor she'd hired months ago. He made an offer, cash, above asking price. The deal closed in a week, a transaction she didn't expect. Tom didn't tell her. Instead, he fenced the new lot, linking it to his land, effectively blocking her direct access to the lake. The move was legal, his property, his boundaries. When Karen found out, she stormed over, clipboard in hand. "You bought my lot? You can't do this. I need that view." Tom met her at the gate. "You sold it, Karen. Fair market. Now it's mine, and I'm using it." She called the cops again, but the sheriff's office declined to intervene. Private property dispute, no crime. The HOA board met, debating for hours, but found no rule to overturn the sale. Karen's complaints grew louder, her neighbors split between sympathy and amusement. Tom kept working the ranch, the lake still for sale, its sign untouched. Weeks passed, and the tension simmered. Karen petitioned the county, claiming historical community use, but the records showed no such claim. Tom's lawyer filed a quiet injunction, reinforcing his ownership. The lake drew offers, developers, a conservation group, but Tom held off, waiting for the right deal. Karen's lot sat empty, a buffer he'd turned to his advantage. The neighborhood adjusted. Some avoided Karen. Others praised Tom's strategy. He didn't gloat, just tended his cattle and watched the lake. The for sale sign stayed, a reminder of his stand. Karen's power faded, her clipboard less feared. Tom's move had shifted the balance, a lesson in land and leverage she wouldn't forget.